as you can see on the board, is relation. Relation can also be called application. Now, if you don't mind, you can read with me from home. A relation is otherwise called application. We have different types of relation, but we have to know what relation is using the figure below. I want you all to pay attention. As you know, this is going on live, so you have room and space as well to ask your questions, if there will be any question. Now, looking at the diagram we have on the board, we have two circles. In one of those circles, we have numbers. In the other one, we have alphabets. Now, in the first circle, we have 1, 2, and 3. In the other one, we have A, B, and C. The fourth circle is called circle A. The second circle is circle B. Now, this is the name given alphabetically to these circles. But under this very topic, the first circle will be called domain. And the other circle, which is B, will be called co-domain. It's a topic that you enjoy so much if you are able to pay proper attention to what I'm trying to teach here or explain to you. Now, without wasting much of the time, you've seen already, based on my explanation and what we have on the board, that the circle A is called the domain, while the circle B is called codomain. I'll repeat again, just to paraphrase on what I've said before. A relation is otherwise called application. We have different types of relation, but we have to know what relation is according to the figure below. I want to believe if you have any questions regarding this figure you're saying, just hold on to those questions. Before the end of the class, you have opportunity to ask your questions. Now, I said before that you need to know what relation is. This is going to be called a relation or an application if every value or member of the domain is connected to something or an element or a value in circle B. Now, as you can see, you see arrows going out from the first circle. This is from the domain to the codomain. Now, 1 is connecting or is binding with A, 2 is binding with B, and 3 is binding with C. So it means when you have something like this, a diagram like this, it means this can be called a relation. Why? Because every element in the domain is connecting or is binding with elements in the codomain. I said in the note above already that we have different types of relation. But first we need to know what relation is. This is called a relation. And I'll have to draw another figure to explain or to show to you the ones we cannot call relation or an application. So I want you to pay attention as I draw another figure. I will use the same number, the same name of the domain and codomain so that you won't be confused. So we basically have two scenarios that will show us, or two things that will show us that this is not an application or that this is not a relation. Are we all paying attention? I want to believe you are paying attention anyway. So let's call this figure 1. Figure 2. and this equals 3. Now, we have spoken about what a relation is already. Now, we have further examples that show an application that we cannot really call an application. Do you understand? Now, look at this. I said it must be a relation if one element each from the domain is binding with an element in the codomain. Now you can see 1 only goes to A, and 2 only goes to B, and 3 only goes to B. Not like 3 going to B and C, or 3 going to A, B. Like one element here can only join, bind, or connect with one element here. Now, look at this. You can see number 1 connecting or binding with 2 elements from the codomain. Don't forget I said this is domain, this is codomain, this is domain, this is codomain, this is domain A, codomain B, and this is domain A and codomain domain B. Now, as you can see, 1 is connecting with more than 1 element in the codomain, that is A and B. And 2 also binds with 1, 3 binds with 1. So this shows that this is not a relation or an application. Why? The reason is because 1 is supposed to connect with just one element in the codomain. So this is why we cannot call this an application. Now, look at the second example that shows a relation which we cannot call a relation or an application. You can see 1 binds or connects with A, 2 binds with B, 2 binds with nothing, and 3 binds with B and C. Now, an application is called a relation or an application when all elements in the domain is connecting or binding to something or another element in the codomain. Now you can see 2 is left out, so this cannot be called an application because 2 is not connecting with any element in the codomain or in B. So these are the 2 scenarios that can show us what is not an application or what is not a relation. I want to believe you understand that. So I want you to reflect on this very well. Check it out very well, watch it, and if you have any question, I want you to start writing them somewhere, maybe in the book you have in your front. Then, before the end of the class, you ask your questions. Now, I will just repeat again. This is codomain. This is domain A, codomain B, as you can see. And this is domain, codomain, domain, codomain. You now know what an application is, and you know you know now when you don't have an application. It's as simple as ABC. And I want to believe by now you must have all been able to understand this. So in the next class, we'll go to the types of relation and application. Thank you so much. Before you go, because this is a class, I will have to give you a classwork. And I will draw some diagrams on the board. And I want to believe by now you must have been able to write this part of the note. So I'll have to rub it off. So, this will be the class exercise or classwork. Now I will draw some diagrams on the board. The only thing you need to show me with these diagrams is to tell me if it's an application or a relation. Okay? So don't think I will give you the exact thing I used as example for you. This is just to test your mind or your IQ. If you know the rules that guides this, then definitely you'll be able to give your reasons correctly and perfectly. And as I'm trying to give you the already classwork, I want to tell you as well, this is very important because it is possible you might be having this kind of question in your mind. Like, what if an application in the code domain is not arrowed, connected, or is not binding with any element from the domain? The main concentration is on the domain. Okay? Inasmuch one element each is binding with one in the code domain, then you can call the application an application. Like in this scenario, I know some of you might be a bit confused. The domain and the code domain can be labeled as X and Y at times, not just A and B. They can be basically given any name. So it's not compulsory. I mean, it's not necessary you have A and B. It could be Z and Y. It could be anything. But just for you not to be confused, let's stick with A and B for now. In further examples, or maybe when we get to the types, we'll go further to see the names that can be given to the domain and the code domain. So if you have your questions, try and send it across through the link that you have. Then, as you have seen, give reasons to show if any of these diagrams is a relation. Thank you.